finish this. Uh, and it's short. It's about the general state of where I've been recently. Working as a creative, as an artist, and life and personal, in general. Okay. mm. Burn my spirit when I'm on the internet. Burn a cigarette. Burn my pride, baby. That's a figurette. Like, what's the key to that? Still a goof to those that know me. Them only. Still got truth that I can't but hold in. That'll kill me slowly. It's no nightmares if you ain't no dreamer. It's just dark and lonely. It's no ideas that I can't consider. Long as I know they own me. Can't tell me one thing to do when you don't got vision for starters. Feel like Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Fuck 'em all. I'ma get money regardless. Got a heartbreak once, and ever since then I ain't been healthy. And my heart it ain't been healthy. And my mama ain't been healthy. And my mama ain't been healthy. I'd pray, but nobody pray as much as I seen my mama. When I called my brother last week, we had to talk about some trauma. How do we deal with all of these trust issues that came from all of that drama? What goes around will go around like panorama. Yeah, I hope you get the picture. They say fake it till you make it. I say fake it till you forget that you was faking. Maybe you make it. I get stressed from being real. You distress me when I fake. They give you a coat, do you take it? 'Cause it get cold when you're naked? Or do you ask them why they gave you? 'Cause you know love could come from hatred. Burn my spirit when I'm on the internet. Let me bum a cigarette. Let me get one kiss, baby, if you're into that. Tell me how you interact. I know love's a drug, now we call it cataracts. Could blind an eagle, crown a weasel, drown a seagull. Maybe I'm thirsty. Maybe ignoring it and working. Could have seen that early. 'Cause you ain't scared don't mean life's harmless. But the pain's still lurking. So toss your phone, baby, what's the internet? Let me show 'em my love again. Now I get lost deep in my head. Let me feel some sun again. And that is it.
I'll be saying artists be humble as heck because they'll be, oh my gosh, just a small thing. Drop fire. And I'm out here like, guys, I don't do this. When I don't know, I really don't know. I'm literally being honest with you. But that was so good. Can I ask what inspired it? Because you wrote that so fast.
Uh, well, recently, I don't know, I've been in a weird place with art. Like my friends that know me know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just in general, like we all used to live in Ukraine, and I felt like I never had to cater to an audience. I was listening to Tim speak about things like audiences, but when you come in, to places like Nigeria,
Mm,
uh, you start to, wonder, especially if you're someone that puts in effort and time and everything into what you're doing,
mm,
and you do want people to appreciate it. So you start, getting in your head about, okay, making adjustments, and eventually you reach a point where you've made like too many, and you just, okay, it's like, okay, I'll do this first, and then I'll go back, when I've uh cornered the market here and things like that. But then you're like, but I hate this kind of stuff too, though. Like, so
mm,
it's just been things like that generally, and then things I can't really talk about with family, my mom, and uh so it's like that's why, I mean, I was listening to all you guys talk, about church, religion, things like that, but I have a very interesting experience in the last couple of years, especially coming from the kind of home that I come from in terms of how religious it
mm,
is and what I saw it do to my mother. And it's like so that's why I say I'd pray, but there's nobody that I see that prays, as much as my mom. And
mm,
it's uh it's so yeah, that's one of the biggest things that is I don't know, I feel like I don't know some of the stuff like I don't know what you're talking about some of this stuff, but that's one of the biggest things that I feel like has been like directing my whole life recently in terms of what I'm able to do,
mm.
what I'm not able to do. because of stuff like that. So it's just basically coming from a perspective of, if you have a relationship, that all that thought, all that thing kind of like pulls you out of, enjoying and being present. I mean, it's fictional and stuff, but then it's like, uh, you know, you want to be fighting your head and fighting somebody that's supposed to be fighting with you.
Yeah.
It's I guess that's what I said. So yesterday I was just like, I was already, you guys know what I wrote before. I kind of
Yeah.
finished that one, and then I was like, I don't know, do I, I wasn't feeling it anymore, so I just started like scribbling something after like yesterday, and yeah.
You landed here. Still good. I liked it. You should have heard the first one too. It was good. So yeah, just naturally. I wish I had that. If I had that in me, man, life would be so easy. But one question I wanted to ask you, I think you mentioned so many things, but we're gonna get back to that. But one question I wanted to ask you is sort of, you're not an artist that I can put in a box, right? In terms of like, I think the norm, each person that comes from Nigeria has this thing where they're like, oh, we need to stick to just Afro beats. And majority of them will be like, oh, let's honor I love Fela Kuti, by the way, but like majority will be of them will be like, I was inspired by Fela Kuti to start my own Afrobeats journey. Some of them be authentic, but some of them just be like, I don't know if it's a Nigerian thing or, but at the end of the day, my question comes from this. I think you're sort of an enigma in a sense of deviating from that norm, but not really. There's a form of kind of like intersectionality when we listen to King Jaja, where it's like I can hear kind of the origin of like you being Nigerian and home, and you have references within the visuals, the canoe, and all these different things, the beads when it comes to kind of the style within the video. But at the same time, I'm like, there's something about this style that's not necessarily Afro beats. So was it hard to kind of be an enigma? Was it hard to be experimental when it comes to your music and creating a sound that's authentic to you, as opposed to kind of being boxed into just Afro beats?
Uh, the thing is, I produce my music. I feel like that's the thing. So before, it's like see somebody coming from never producing Afro before to now producing
Mm,
Afro. I feel like that's what King Jack. Like I mean, if you listen to River Ray's and River Ray's songs, we always used to just experiment. Like that's like if we
yeah.
made a song and it sounded like a song we made before, we just hate it. So it always came from, okay, what could we do that's weird and interesting and just absurd? I mean,
Mm,
we did it for so long 'cause it was actually really bad because we weren't thinking about like building up a fan base or marketing or stuff. When people find it, they're like, how didn't we know in this, that, and the third? And like people that we've met and have spoken to us from like, Def Jam, American labels and things. And it's like they're like, but
oh,
how? And then it was just that we just had this thing where all we cared about was sit down and we just have fun with how intense we could like take things in terms of the intricacies of, production and writing and, song organization. But then coming back home, that's what I was talking about. You then meet like a new wall where it's like here people are like before outside people appreciate the artistry, but here they'll be like,
mm,
what's in this one you do? Like, what are you doing? It's like it's a different kind of like because I feel like Nigerians are going through shit, so they are looking for they don't hide emotions and they're looking for ways
mm,
to escape their own heads. So you now have to try to blend in. So King Jaja in itself, it's a song about King Jaja of not a song about, but it's like referencing King Jaja of Opobo. He literally has my whole life story. Like he's from Imo State, moved to Rivers. I was born and moved to Rivers. My parents are from Imo State. I
mm,
was born in Rivers and I've lived in Rivers all my life. And he just
mm,
had all this stuff with now, this slave trade and things like this and the white people
mm,
coming in. So it was literally just a song about like I just thought about it and I was like, okay, and so I used it to reference and try to organize a song and like anything about the king, and that was the thing. And then it's so it was like with the production, I now started trying to
Mhm.
seep into making more Afro-esque stuff, but I felt like I can't just deviate straight and directly and just do
Mhm.
pro pure Afro beats. I'm gonna completely alienate everybody that ever listened to me before. Because I feel like most of my core people now are from like Ukraine and Europe and things
Yeah.
like that. So it's now, yeah, so I also had to keep, the same thing with the melodies, the
Mm.
organization, the branding of the songs to keep it as. But yeah, so that was just like okay, so this is what I'm doing. This is this by any means, nothing's happening here. Like, if you listen to the song again, you'll probably get it more now that you know what I was like trying to
Yeah.
talk about. But yeah, it was
I
like
think there's more clarity.
yeah. So it was just that with like it also comes from like I said, you've never produced an Afro song before, and
Mm.
now you're producing one, and you typically don't listen to as much Afro, like
Mm.
ever. Like I only used to listen to very few. So it just somehow shapes how your brain is gonna, create stuff. I guess it's just
Mm.
programming.
True. I love that. I could gain some inspiration for that. It's like kind of the intersection of trying to blend in but being authentic. It's kind of like the war, tag and war of
Mm,
like, yeah, you want a certain specific demographic, and yeah, I have to provide certain things to sometimes even for other people survive as an artist in specific environments. But also there's kind of something that's authentically you. It's a good blend, if you ask me,
yeah,
actually. When I listened to King Judge, I loved it. I loved it. I was like, yeah,
thank you.
he cooked. But I also loved other kind of singles like Stripped. I was like, definitely giving me Baby
Oh,
King.
Stripe. Yeah, that
Stripe,
wasn't
yeah. Is it Stripped or Stripe?
that was that wasn't a single. That was like some mixtape I made during
It
that
was a
Black Lives
mixtape.
Matter. I'm surprised you heard that song.
I
Like I
heard
think
it.
there's
No, I liked it. I feel like it reminded me of Baby Kim.
like
Because
I
I was
literally
like,
archived that whole project on YouTube. I'm gonna go
sorry,
find it.
sorry, I got it. Go and listen to it, everyone. It's really good. I thought it's good, but I
Please
think
don't.
there's
Please
just
don't.
complexity in your work, which I like. And I hate people that kind of try to box it. And I never think you should. I think to some degree, yeah, cater to the audience you have, but also just be authentically you, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, this was nice. This
Awesome. It was. Okay,
was nice. This
I'm
was
a
nice. I
write
love
down
the
more.
piece. So thank you so much. We
Thank you guys.
appreciate it. I know it took a lot to be here today.
Mhm.
So I really am grateful that you kind of found a way and pulled this off, which is amazing. So yeah, for everyone that hasn't listened to any of his tracks yet, Ivor Rivers on Instagram. We're gonna kind of link some of the details hopefully when we upload this on YouTube. So you find it on YouTube and find some clips on different social media platforms. And with that, guys, I think we have reached the end of our program. Is Kulani here? Oh, wait. Julia, come back. Anjola's asking, what more can we expect from you?
Uh, I'm actually working on like it's still in the direction of what I sent, of what I made. I have this 2-pack coming out called This Evening Love Me. It's two songs, one named This Evening, one named Love Me. Still gotta go re-record Love Me because I got a mix back yesterday and it was horrible. Like I haven't felt that bad about. So like I need to go re-record and re-perform it. But I have that coming up. I have a project with Will Jealous, this Latvian producer. It's more R&B, more written. If you like uh some of my other stuff like ones and things like that, I just write and I don't really care about uh you know, vibes and dances. It's just writing and melodies. I have some of that coming out with him. He's like he literally produced on Schoolboy Q's last album. So it's we have that. I have some other work with producers 'cause I feel like that's a thing I've been doing recently just because I feel like now I make my own stuff that I put effort into releasing
Mm,
and like visuals and branding, I produce those. But like when I just want to express and like write and
mm,
like, you know, some make melodies and stuff, I try to find producers from different, countries that I haven't worked with before and
mm.
do that. Yeah.
Okay. So we got a few when you
Yes.
approve the mix.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like that. We'll be
Yes.
looking forward to that. So I think I've gotten a signal. If anyone wants to do an open mic, is there anyone that's ready to do a performance live? You have the opportunity to before we leave or before we close. We'll be so excited. Is anyone willing to do that? Please don't be shy. Um, wait, Angela's
I
asked
am
one more
interested.
question. Um, and it's to Jude again. One more question to Ivor. Were you always a producer and an artist, or you dived into it out of necessity to find your sound?
No. I mean, I grew up like I said, I grew up in church, pops,
Mm.
pastor. I started playing the piano at 7, so I guess I was always my both my parents were singers. Like my mom, they met in the choir literally.
Oh,
Uh, Started playing the piano very early. Started writing at like 11, 12. Uh, just like finding Lil Wayne beats and freestyling over there and writing. Yeah, right. They try to write as many unnecessary punchlines as possible. But then in terms of producing, I have this Ray is my buddy. Like he's part of River Race. He used to do most of our production work, and then I'll add like, keys, things like that. But producing myself, I started in 2020, but
mm.
it wasn't anything Afro. I'd say I started producing Afro out of necessity, but in terms of production, I've always been, you know, wanting to make sound and create atmospheres.
Love that, love that, love that. Angela, I hope that answered your question. Any more questions or let's see.
I think there's
If
a
any of you,
question. Somebody has their hand up.
yeah.
Nope.
Hey, we
Nope.
can hear you.
Yeah, hi, sir. No question for Ivor Rivers, Judah. Guy. Just wanted to ask, what are you learning so far from all of these things you go through? So I've known, yeah, you're not one that is part of the always. I know in Nigeria it's always very hard to do so far. I'm still then currently going through and experiencing what art. Let me know.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, you're definitely like 100% right. It's a very different ball game, man. Like I've been trying to travel quite a bit, like been doing a lot of meeting with artists here, going for camps, recording stuff. There's actually like some of that stuff that's gonna come out. But I was with this guy recently. He's like I think he works with Orchard. Like it's this big European label, and we're talking about like the system here and what people want to, see in an artist and things like that. And as much as I don't want to be like a typical like artist that's here, some stuff you just have to do. Like in terms of content, like BC is one of my closest friends. Like they know like I've never been somebody that would just like just bomb the internet with like, videos. And it's like when River started, we just used to uh make we'll just make a song and then we just find some goofy ass cover art and put it up, and that's it to put the video on it. We never thought about being out. We started recording things on our phones, but then we archived them after like 2 weeks because we just hated it. So we never really learned any of that. I never was that kind of person that would actually think of. I always thought if the music is good enough, it's gonna, and it just doesn't work that way. Because like I said, like 100,000 songs are played to Spotify every day now. If you're not doing something exceptional and you have to attack both, visual and audio media, so it's like you now need to think of an idea that the song has to have something that people can relate to. The video has to be like, oh, I know that place. So it's just like it's a lot of stuff, some of which I'm not gonna do, but I feel like end of the day, if you have a decent amount of shock value or relatability, one or the other, then it'll be just it's expensive still, because I'm fully funded. I have like some things, like deals and stuff, but they're not. I feel like at this point, like I just still work, so I have like a decent way to uh structure my releases and make them not seem like just some guy that's recording some stuff. So it's crazy in Nigeria because Nigerians have this thing where when they see you, oh, this person is bigger than me. This person is, oh, now I can. But like rarely do they think of relatability as oh, this guy looks like he's just singing what I do and he has good talent. Let me go and support him. They just wanna, worship people. We have this worship syndrome. I say, baba. And that's what they want to do. So it's like a lot of those different things, I have to find the balance in a way that, I'm not gonna lose myself as well because I want to be accepted by them. So it's at this point right now, it's not a do or die affair because I feel like I have quite a bit of pride. But yeah.
That was hilarious, partially, but okay. So I hope that answers your question. Um, oh wait, one more question. Galaxy Tab A. You can go ahead.
Thank you. I wanted to ask what the motivation is coming from, Europe and then transitioning to Nigeria. Then, like, everything is different. Everybody seems to be singing what is entirely different from yours. So, like,
I'm
what?
sorry, I don't think we can get you. Can others get the question?
I can hear, yes.
You can hear? Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, like,
Keep going.
what's the transition like, and what keeps you motivated? Like, since you started to make music in a very different environment, now there's like a whole lot of downward thing going on in Nigeria. Like, what keeps you motivated and makes you still stick to it? And how do you find being different in the midst of so many people doing something entirely different from you? Like, what's the motivation?
I feel like the music is the motivation. Like I don't know what I'd like several times like I've been like what am I just like I don't know what I'd do if I feel like I've done it for so long that my brain just wants to write, wants to make stuff. I feel like maybe the motivation in terms of putting it out is, I guess, some kind of thing at the back of my head that's gonna be like, eventually they come around. And I've always looked at like, I mean, some of my favorite like artists, just they're the best because they just had done it for like they put in so much work into their craft in terms of like how many hours, maybe not necessarily for a long time, but like just the short time, like what they actually did. So with Nigeria, it's like I guess I just can't see myself not doing it like right now. Like I feel like that's less than what. So it's more like I will make music regardless. Like I have at least 4 times more or 5 times more unreleased stuff than I have released. That's if I have River Rays and IVER, and let's say I've put out 40 songs. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back now.
Okay. So yeah, I was saying if I've done 40, I definitely have like 160 unreleased that will probably never be released. So I'll still make music regardless, just because it's like second nature at this point. It's like I could write. I was telling somebody yesterday, I wish I wasn't as gifted, not to sound like, but like I feel like it would give me a lot more drive to be like, okay, let's go, let's pump out this, let's pump out this, let's do this, let's do this. So it's more like you do it, and then you just have stuff, and you're like, you know what, I need to put this out, and then you start thinking about how to present it because you don't want to seem stupid. You actually want to translate the idea, properly. But with Nigeria, it's just it's a different game. Like in general, Nigeria is not an ideal place for, except you have like let's say 100 million naira somewhere like stocked up, and then you could draft out this incredible release plan or like marketing and just pop out and stuff like that. But if you want to do it as somebody that's only thinking about the quality of the music as opposed to, oh, I can't wait to be a star, it's trickier.
I could vibe with that.
Yeah.
That's nice. You know that thing where it's like it's nice, it's refreshing listening to you kind of talk about your industry because it's stuff we don't even think about when it comes to like the Zambian. Honestly, Kulani is like, so it's like stuff we don't really consider. I feel like each demographic or each place has its own set of challenges. So kind of the challenges you're listing are not necessarily new to us, but to some degree they're like, oh wait, that's a challenge for them. That's different from kind of our environment. But yeah,